Hey guys, it's Adrian over BHA here, bringing you a new video. So the nice folks over at Inkbird sent me over one of their latest sensors to show you guys. Now this thing is pretty cool. So it is a full-blown air quality sensor. So it does CO2, it does air pressure, it does humidity and temperature, all in one small little sensor. Even has a cool little display on the front of it. This is a Bluetooth sensor. So it will Bluetooth to your phone, and they have an Inkbird app that will pull in all that information, and you can look at it historically and everything. So it's actually a pretty cool little setup. Now they have tons of other cool sensors. So I don't know if you've ever checked out Inkbird's website before. If you haven't, you definitely want to go over there. Lots of unique sensors that you don't normally see and are kind of hard to find. So definitely worth checking out for yourself. But without further ado, let's dive right in. Now, as you can see, just on Amazon's website, this sensor runs for about $169, $170, but there is a 40% off coupon. So if you apply that coupon right now on Amazon's website, it brings the price down to roughly $107, give or take. So that's a pretty nice little deal. Still maybe a little on the pricey end, but this sensor does have a lot to offer. Nonetheless, let's see what all we can do with it. Let's get started.
Okay, let's get this thing opened up. So they do a pretty good job of marketing on the box. You got all the main specs and everything on the outside of the box. Let's go ahead and get this lid off here. Right there on top, we got the instruction manual for getting it set up in the Inkbird app. Let's see, we got some batteries for powering this thing up. And according to the documentation, the battery should last up to 4 years. So that's pretty awesome if you really think about it. Next up, we got the device itself. So not a whole lot to it. The back comes off, which is where the batteries go, as well as the power button. It looks like it also has a button for changing from Fahrenheit to Celsius as well. That back lid also has a screw hole, so if you wanted to look at mounting it somewhere, it should be pretty easy to do. That's it for everything that comes in the box. Let's go ahead and move on to the next step, and we will get this thing added into the Inkbird app on my phone. All right, so getting this thing added into the Inkbird app is actually really pretty simple. For starters, I mean, obviously you need to put in the batteries in the back of the device as well as powering it on, so it will start looking for a Bluetooth signal. Once you've done that, you can hit that plus in the app. We're basically going to scroll down until we see the model of sensor that we're trying to add. And then the app should start looking for it. And if you've done everything correctly, it should automatically see it. And as you can see, there it is. We'll hit confirm, and then it'll take a second for it to make that full connection. Let's see, it asks us to hit the button on the back one time to confirm the addition into the app, and we are done. As you can see now, we have the sensor added into the Inkbird app on our phone. Let's go ahead and move on to the next step, and we'll go over the config capabilities within the app. Here we are in the Inkbird app, and if we select our newly added device here, you can see it's already seeing all the data from the device. So we got the CO2 measurements at the top. Just below that is the air pressure. And then at the bottom, we got the temperature and humidity. And if we click on data at the very bottom, we can see historically all the data that it's pulled in so far from the sensor. So this first tab is CO2, and we can even see a little spike there. Not sure what that was all about. But then if we move over to temperature, now I recently turned the AC up in the house to try and save some electricity, and you can see that spike there at the end. Here is the humidity. All looks good there. And then this last tab over here is going to be air pressure. And everything looks pretty good there as well. Now, if we go back out of that to the main screen, if you click on message up here at the top, that is the message center for various notifications. I don't see anything in there right now. And then back at the bottom, there is a settings button. Well, let's click on that. And you can see right there at the top, we get to choose Celsius or Fahrenheit, depending on what we want it set to. And just under there, we can change the name if we want. I'm going to call this one Inkbird Sensor for now. I haven't fully decided where I'm going to land this device yet. Let's see, we can adjust the CO2 levels if we want. We also have the ability to adjust how often the device sends data. So like 1 minute all the way up to 10 minutes. Now, obviously, the shorter time you use, the faster it will drain the battery. So definitely keep that in mind. By default, it's set to 1 minute. I think I'm going to change it to 5 minutes. I think that will be a good setting for now. You can set the CO2 alarm to be every time or just send notifications for one time. That way you won't continuously get hit with alarms. If there was a new firmware version, this is where we would be able to update the firmware. And then, of course, here is the dark and light mode options. I have mine set to dark mode, which is what I prefer. Lastly, we have the user guide link here at the bottom. Just in case you lost the paper manual, you do have the online option here. Back at the top, there is a tab for calibrating the sensor. So if you feel that you need to, you have the ability to do that under this section. I'm going to leave it as it is for now until I can kind of get a better understanding of if they need to be calibrated or not. But that is certainly available if you needed to. On the app alarm tab, this is where we set the alarm thresholds for each of the sensors. This allows us to configure the highs and lows for those sensors. But that's about it as far as what's available to you in the app. Let's go ahead and move on to the last step, and I will give you my final thoughts. Alright guys, so my final thoughts. As I said originally, the price on this sensor is a little on the high end. Now I realize it's probably a pretty big sticking point for a lot of people. But if you get it right now, on the Amazon storefront, you can take advantage of that 40% off coupon, which definitely makes the price a lot cheaper, bringing it down to roughly $107. So that's not too bad. And now this is a Bluetooth device, and some Inkbird Bluetooth devices are actually able to work with Home Assistant right now, utilizing Bluetooth and Home Assistant, and maybe even using a Bluetooth proxy. Now this one is not currently on that short list, but hopefully it will get updated very soon. So I still have hope that we will be able to pull the data from the sensor into Home Assistant at some point. I do like the fact that the sensor does have a really long battery life. Now, they are reporting that it will last up to 4 years. Now, that's probably a little on the high end, but even if you could get 2.5 years out of the batteries before you having to change them, that would be a pretty awesome deal. Nonetheless, I'll have a link to Inkbird's website in the description below. If you aren't interested in this sensor, head over there to their website. Take a look at their plethora of sensors that they currently have available, and I guarantee you'll find something that you do like.
As always, I want to thank everybody for donating to my Buy Me a Coffee link. Every little bit helps. If you haven't had a chance, head over to my spring merchandise page and check out all of the Burns home automation merchandise. And if you're looking for the latest smart home gear, you're going to want to check out SMONet. I'll have a link in the description below. Head over to their website, see what deals they currently have running. And if you're looking for the latest smart window treatment, you're going to want to check out Smartwings with the newly released Matter-enabled smart window treatment. I'll have a link in the description below for them as well. Head over there and see what deals they currently have running. If you're interested in buying and selling stock or maybe cryptocurrency, check out Robinhood. I'll have a link in the description below for them as well. If you sign up with that link, you and I both will get a free share of stock. It's a win-win for both of us. If you like the video, please subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comments below. As always, if there are any videos out there that you would like to see that I don't already have out there, let me know in the comments as well, and I'll see if I can't get something put together for you guys. Otherwise, I'll see you guys around.